Hello everyone! So, today I'm kinda tired. We had rehearsal today, and it wasn't that long of a rehearsal, it's just the fact that we had to run the most exhausting of the songs about 15 times, and of course I'm one of the few people that's in that songs, so yeah, I'm really tired. But I had some tea, and it was great, and I think it's kicking in now because I'm hyper again. So this week is childhood memories. Well, I was a very shy child, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really shy now too, but I mean I was deathly shy as a child. So didn't have that great of stories. So I'm gonna tell you a few stories because they're all kind of short because I was too shy to really do anything. I also feel like for this theme of the week, there needs to be an outfit change to tell these stories well. Okay, so I'm ready now. I have a total of 3 stories. I'm going to start off with the theater one, go to the childhood stuffed animal one, and the last one is going to be my courageous adventure. Without further ado, let's get the stories going. So, when I was really little, my sister was into theater. She's always been into theater. But when I was little, she was in an independent film, and that was really cool. But she had rehearsal and filming for it every day, and it was in the city. And so my mom would drive us both down, and I would help everybody out. So when I just remember being really little, and I was walking through this building, and instead of me just having to wait there really bored, I got to hold all the wires, so I would walk around with these wires and bring them to everybody, and it was lots of fun. And because I did so much, I helped a lot, and I was like the little mascot, I guess. They were kind enough, and they put me in the credits. They said a special thanks to me, and it was pretty awesome. It was even better when we got to go see a screening of it, because I was like really little, and I didn't know really exactly what was going on, but then when my sister came on screen, I was like, oh my gosh, that's my sister, she's on the screen, and it was pretty fun. Childhood memory number 2. This one is about my stuffed animal Fetch right here, who, I was really good about not losing her, but this one night I went to the rides at my shore house, and I would take her everywhere with me. Like, I literally, she did not leave me ever. And I was on these little boats, apparently. And I must have forgotten her. And we were driving back home that night. And as we were eating dinner here, and I realized I didn't have Fetch. I was hysterical. I was so sad. And I was so sad. I wanted her back, and I didn't know what to do, and I literally had no clue what to do with myself because I didn't have my stuffed animal. So my dad was kind enough to drive back to my shore house, and they went looking for her. And apparently I had left her in one of the boats, and she'd just been on that ride, just going for like that however long we were gone. And I was just so happy to get her back. And I haven't lost her ever since. Okay, last story. This one is pretty intense. It's my adventure. Being at a shore house, you're able to swim, obviously, because you spend all your time in the ocean. And personally, I joined the swim team down there, and that's where I met all of my friends. Like, all my friends are from that swim team. And so, because we're such strong swimmers, we decided one day that we were going to go out onto the sandbar. And, I mean, that's not really saying anything. It's a sandbar, so you can get there. It's like low tide. It's great. Like, you just walk there and you're perfectly fine. But we decided a few hours later, after we'd gone on it at low tide, that it would be fun to go back out again. If the tide had changed, and I don't know if you know this about sandbars, but after the tide changes, it gets really deep. So where it was deep before was over our head, and wherever the sandbar was about up to here, like up to our necks, and that would have been fine, but it was starting to rain, and there were all these clouds coming. And our parents were there watching us, and they were perfectly cool with it because, I mean, we're all swim team kids, so we were all fine. We were about 7 at the time, I guess. So we decided, let's go back out. So we go, and we bring, all of us decided that we were going to go and swim out to it and just chill there and then come back in. But of course, my friend's little brothers decided, hey, we want to come too. We're part of the swim team. So they had to take boogie boards, and I just remember us all trying to get out there. We all had like boogie boards, so because that was the only way we could convince our parents to let us go if we had a flotation device. So we all had our boogie boards, and we're getting out there. And I just remember we get to the sandbar, and the waves are just crashing at us and crashing at us. And when we get to the sandbar, we feel it. We feel the sandbar, like right where the drop-off is. And every single time, we would jump onto the sandbar, stand there, and as soon as a wave came, we'd get pushed off of it and back into the really deep part where that was over our head. And I just remember our friend's little brothers, they didn't even get all the way out to the sandbar. They headed it back in really quickly because they didn't have the strength to, because we were so much taller and able to, and a little bit stronger than they were. So we get out there, and just the 3 of us, and we spent, I think, about 10 minutes trying to get far enough onto the sandbar that we could stand there for a little bit, and it just doesn't work. So we just decided that after a while we were gonna just go back in because we were just so tired. So that was my adventure story, spending lots of time trying to get on this sandbar and just failing miserably because the waves were just way too strong for us, and we were way too short to stand on the sandbar anyway. That is a good lesson for you guys if you ever decide to go back on a sandbar. If it's high tide, you're probably not going to get back on it unless you're part of my group of crazy friends that gets very determined. And if it wasn't for our shortness and the fact that the waves were really strong, we would have been on that sandbar. Yep. So those are my childhood memories. I hope you liked them. And I loved all of your stories. They were really awesome. And, yeah. By the way, I hope you like the camera. That I'm actually using my real camera for once. I always mean to. And it always just turns into me using my flip camera because it's just what I use for, recording things. But I figured I would use my real camera today so you could have some pretty high definition of stuff. Alright. Well, I'm gonna sign off now, and because I have my stuff down all right here, I can do this.